Well, welcome everyone. This is a session meant to go over and review our um, physical geography lecture syllabus for the fall semester of fall 21 course semester. Yeah, so I teach this course at two different colleges, DVC and Chabot. I will be showing the syllabus for DVC, but just know that everyone that's in Chabot, that attends Chabot, it's essentially the same course. So in terms of the amount of assignments and expectations, and even the schedule is almost identical. So that should be helpful for you. And really, I wanted to put this video together. Normally on the first day of class, we would sit in the classroom and I would explain all these things. Let me change where I'm kind of looking more at you guys, where I would explain all of these things and give you an idea of what the course is going to be like. Obviously, we don't have that environment now. The course is taught asynchronous. So that means we don't have general regular meeting times to get together. So I wanted to do this to help you out and give you a chance to watch this back and hopefully answer some of the questions or give you clarity on things that may not be super obvious. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, share screen one. And let me make sure I've got my course brought up in Canvas. So you should be able to see that. Student view. Okay, excellent. Now, I'm going to go ahead and load up this Word document. And again, this is for DVC, but most of the language is exactly the same. Let's go ahead and start. This is called the Physical Geography Lecture. All right, there are two parts to obtaining your, by the way, my name is Jeffrey Miller. I always kind of forget to introduce myself. I think that's important, just so you know. I've been an instructor now in academia for about 5 years and got my master's degree in geography. So this is really a topic and a subject that I'm passionate about and enjoy sharing and teaching with all of you. So I know that a lot of you are freshmen or sophomore, or maybe even coming back to school, but you're kind of in the process of obtaining your general education, which is totally fine. That's great. This course, as well as the lab course, combined will fulfill your physical science requirement for California State or University of California transfers. So for everybody that's doing that, fantastic, good luck. And this course is meant to help you along that way, okay? And for those that are on the line that are participating, you're welcome to pipe in and ask any questions at any point. It's not mandatory, but sure, of course, if you have something to say, you feel free. You're here for a reason, or sit back and just hear me go through this little spiel here. So anyways, yeah, my email for DVC is JEMiller@DVC. My email for Chabot is jmiller@Chabot College. DVC already had a J Miller in their database, so I ended up getting JE Miller. But just so you know, if you are a DVC student and you email me at jmiller, it's not going to hit me, okay? And frankly, I think the person that is J Miller doesn't always forward me the messages, so come back to this if you are having a hard time figuring out how to get a hold of me, or contact the department. Again, that's for DVC students. Yeah, more students coming in. Welcome. Let's see, meeting time and room. Well, this is a virtual online class, right? So I'm obviously here in my home doing this course for you guys. Yeah, this course is asynchronous modality, which means that we do not have regular weekly scheduled meetings. Okay, let me repeat that. There are no weekly scheduled class meetings, meaning that I am not here every week live lecturing to you. Okay, so it's a little bit different. With that being said, what we're going to do, and I'll explain this a little bit more in detail as I have a section on this in the syllabus, but essentially I'm going to put all of the information on Canvas for you. I do provide lectures and other resources, and the lectures in particular will be pre-recorded, and I put those on YouTube, and then I put them out there for you to watch and essentially observe on your own time and review on your own time. So it is a self-paced, more of a self-paced environment where I'm not, looking over your shoulder telling you, hey, do this, do that, do this. It's more or less, it's out there. There are due dates for for each assignment, which we will cover here. And then it is up to you to follow those things on a weekly or bi-weekly or whatever the due dates say they are, whatever the due dates are scheduled to be. It's on you, and it is your responsibility to stay current with that and keep up with the course. There is a pace to the course, a structure to the course, but in terms of the execution, that falls on your shoulders, and that's something that I'm totally around to provide questions or answers to. But yeah, I don't want people falling behind a month later saying, oh, well, professor, you didn't tell me what I was supposed to do, and I haven't heard from you. There could be a week or so where you may not hear anything from me because, like I said, the course is kind of self-paced. I do send out announcements and little reminders to try to keep you guys engaged and just to give you information as the course goes along. But yeah, it's really going to be on you if you need something to reach out to me. At the same time, you can reach out to your fellow students, your peers in this class, because we do have discussion boards. So feel free to ask questions there as well and collaborate. Yeah, that's just kind of the way it's going to be. I know that if we were all sitting in the room together, there'd be obviously a little bit more chance to have kind of impromptu ad hoc conversations. But in this environment, there are benefits to this as well, because being self-paced, that means you don't have to be, and being asynchronous also means that you do not have to be, I will not behold you to sit down at the computer at these certain times each week, meaning your schedule is really open to you. And so if you work, a graveyard shift, or if you have, you need childcare or whatever the case may be, I get it. People have lives, and there's a lot of disruption going on, especially. And so me included. So my intention is to make this as flexible and accommodating as possible. So yeah, anyways, reach out if you need anything ever, if you have any questions. Email is the best way to get a hold of me. I don't have a campus phone anymore, so I didn't even post it on there, but email. And yeah, the other thing I will say about this, getting a hold of me, is I do have an office hour every week. Okay, and that will be at 12 p.m. okay, on Wednesdays. And that's going to be me live. So while there's no live class lecture per se, this is a time where I will be available unless something else happens, unless I have a conflict and I let you guys know. But as far as I'm concerned, my job is to make this time available for you on a weekly basis. And these are open office hours, meaning that it's really a kind of a first come, first serve. Like, you show up, you have some questions about the assignments or about the course, or, I don't know, other things, life advice, whatever it is. You show up, I'll be there. Even if nobody shows up, I'll still be there. Okay, I'll be on Zoom just like this, kind of doing my thing. And that's our chance to have some conversation. Could be 5 minutes, could be 50 minutes. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. I will say that I do teach multiple classes though. And so the opportunity that numerous students will show up is possible. And so if you have something that you want to discuss, I suggest getting in to the office hour right at 12. Okay. I do try to make myself available if I can. I have a busy schedule as well, but I try to make myself available for off time appointments. So, hey, I don't get off work till, 6 or whatever, and I'm only available on Fridays. Just, send me an email and we could try to schedule something specific. Okay. I can't guarantee you that I can do like every week at 5 o'clock. I can be there right just for you individually. That's a little much. But in one-off opportunities where you have something to discuss with me and you can't make the office hour, send me an email. Let's put it on a calendar and let's sit down and talk about it. Great. Okay, so let's keep going. We are going to be using a textbook called Physical Geography, the Global Environment. There's 4 authors. If you just look up the first one, it should show up, but this is the 5th edition. Let's see, actually, I'll show you what a copy looks like right now. Okay, here's the book right here. Okay, so it should be available in the bookstore. Actually, they have copies in the library too, that you can not check out, but you can, I guess, rent or observe while you're in the library. They don't let you take the physical copies away, but if you are in the library and have time to be there, you can study and read these read the chapters at the library itself. So that's one way to not have to pay for it. It's widely available on Amazon too, and rentals through Chegg and other things. So it is required. You will need to get that book and start reading it. The material for the course comes directly from this book. So all the curriculum that I developed essentially is parallel with the authors, what the authors put together here. So that's going to be very helpful, and I recommend to do that as soon as possible. Let's see. So yeah, what is this course all about? Okay. For those looking at Chabot, this is going to look a little bit different, but again, it's essentially the same course, and I'm teaching it with the same content. So we're going to be introducing principles of physical geography, and physical geography is Mother Earth. Okay, it's Mother Earth, Mother Nature. It's where plants, animals, humans, and everything else all exist. And we want to understand the relationships between how humans affect the earth and how the earth affects humans, and how weather patterns diverge and develop, and other things. Okay, so when we say physical geography, we're not necessarily talking about the state capitals. That's not physical geography. Physical geography is the development of mountain ranges and snow and ice and other things that are not. There's really 3 branches, right? There's cultural, which is cultural geography. Quiz question, hint, hint, hint. But cultural geography relates more to human processes and phenomena, like for example, state capitals. Well, what is a state capital? It's a human made up thing, right? That's also kind of a branch of regional geography, because you're talking about something very specific in terms of a location. But yeah, human geography would be like political boundaries and cultural, location. How does location get involved with human beings? Whereas physical geography is more related to the earth, natural earth, and natural science phenomena. That's why this is a physical science equivalent course. Okay, so our goals here are to explore everything about the Earth. Okay, everything about the Earth itself and the phenomena, the relationships on the planet, how the sun and the Earth interact with one another. We're not going to get into space, really. That's not part of this. That's a totally different subject. But yeah, basically anything from the atmosphere downwards. Okay, so even beyond the physical land itself, into the air, and right up to where essentially space meets us. From that part downwards is what we're going to study in this course. And so since this is the lecture course, this is theory based. The lab course, we get into other actual practices, lab practices where you do hands-on exercises and other things, computer-based things. So the two courses do go hand in hand. They do go hand in hand, and they are required. You don't have to take them at the same exact time, but you do have to take both courses to fulfill the physical science requirement, which I do teach at both colleges, by the way, if you are still needing access to that. I think actually both courses are full, but stay in touch with me if that is still a need. Anyways, I'm not going to go over each one of these one by one. I'll let you look over that. I don't want to make this too long or drawn out. Let's get to the really nuts and bolts of the course and talk about attendance. So like I said, this course is asynchronous, okay? And that means, again, we do not have regular class meetings. So if the office hours, I'm kind of repeating myself, but I think it's important because for a lot of people, especially if you haven't done online education before, this is new, and you probably have courses that are synchronous, meaning that you are supposed to log in every week and be on Zoom with the teacher and do other types of things. And that's fine. The way I'm going to do this, though, is asynchronous. Okay. And so, yeah, check in with me on office hours. That's totally cool. Like I said, it is voluntary, for you to participate at those. But I really do appreciate when students show up and engage with me in those environments. Okay. In terms of your lecture and other resources, I'll show all of this to you on Canvas, and it's going to kind of all start to make sense, I hope. But the goal is to present to you pre-recorded videos, and they are me lecturing to you about specific topics. And so those are all posted on YouTube, which I share with you on Canvas. The great thing about YouTube is you can watch it wherever you want, right? Anywhere, any device, basically anytime. So I will also include PowerPoint slides and some documentation called key points. Now, the key points are essentially, I'm giving you my lecture notes. Okay, I'm handing them to you here, and it's what I base my lectures off of. I got my key points directly from this material here. So the key points are your best resource. Well, my lecture and the key points are your best resources. The slides, I'll be frank, those come from the author and they're a bit dense. So I did not necessarily make all of those slides, but I am handing them to you as additional material. So don't get too overwhelmed by looking at the slides. Sometimes there's 50, 60, 70 slides per topic. I think your best course of action is, number one, read the chapters in the book as I assign them. Number two, watch the videos. You don't have to do them all necessarily in this particular order, but watch the videos, review the key points, and then look over the slides, okay? You'll see in my key points that I have parentheses and bold. If I have a note where there's a specific thing and I put a little parentheses and a bold next to it, that means that I'm telling you, directing you to go to that slide number because there is some kind of important graphic or map or something that corresponds with the topic in the key point, okay? Anyways, all of those things can be downloaded and you could keep them there. You can actually view them directly in Canvas, whatever works for you, okay? Whatever works for you. We will be participating in this course. There will be student discussions, okay? So you are required. I mean, it's up to you. It is worth points. So if you don't do it, you miss out on the points, and I'll explain that in a minute. But you are required to work on the discussion prompts for each module, okay? So the expectation is that you're going to provide about a paragraph or so in length, based on whatever question or kind of cognitive, inquisitive, thing that I present to you, and you say, oh, here's my thoughts on this, or here's what I learned about this, in your own words, not something you pull from Wikipedia. And so you submit that, and then it shows up after you submit yours, then it shows everybody's responses kind of on a list, right? And at that point, you can reply, you can read other people's things, and it's a way of discussing the topics at hand, okay? So those are worth 5 points each, and I highly encourage you to engage in those every module, okay? It's meant to provide an active discussion board for you guys, get you engaged, because we're not sitting next to each other. We're not talking in the same room, hand in hand with each other. It's hard to collaborate. It really is. You have to make the effort to do this. So it's kind of my way of forcing you to do it. Yeah, I want to see what you guys put out there. Okay. There will be, in terms of grading is concerned, there's 3 exams. There's three midterm exams and 1 final exam. Okay. The final exam is not cumulative, which means that it only is going to cover the previous topics from, that were just recently covered before it. So essentially it's like a 4th exam. Okay. When we have exams, what happens is we will open up a module with that particular exam, and you will have an entire week to work on it. Okay, you will have an entire week to work on it. That does not mean that you can log into the exam, push start, and then you have a whole week. No, you will have a week to study. And then once you log in Canvas and say, take the exam, you have 3 hours to complete the exam. Let's see. So yeah, once you push the start button, the 3-hour clock starts, and it keeps going no matter what, even if you log off, if your computer dies, whatever the case may be, right? So let's see, what was I going to say about that? Other things I was going to say about that. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to take the whole week before you do the exam. Say you study on everything on Monday and you feel confident, and it's more convenient for you to take the exam on a Tuesday because of your schedule, and you do that, and you do well on it. Well, you've got the whole rest of the week to kind of do other stuff. I'll just be honest with you. Okay. So yeah, exams will always be, let's put it this way, modules always open on a Monday, and then the assignments will always be due, which assignments also include discussion, by the way. So your discussion and your exams will always be due on a Sunday. Okay. Not necessarily the exact following Sunday, but on a Sunday. Okay. So that's one way to kind of keep track. Monday is when something starts. Sunday is when something ends. Okay. And here are your grades, how things are going to be broken down in terms of points. Now, again, everything that I have in here, I'm trying to do my best to stick to this. There may be some slight modifications to what we're putting out here right now. If I add an additional quiz or a few other quizzes or other homework assignments to, to the course, that could happen. I'm just letting you know now. But as I have stated everything so far, what we've got are the 4 exams, 100 points each. Your participation are 5 points each. There are 11 modules. So the breakdown of points is 455 points. I don't curve. I don't do minuses or pluses. It's 90, 80, 70, 60, A, B, C, D, F. Okay. And yeah, down here we talk about tutoring, academic integrity. I'm not going to go over those things to you directly. Those are all part of the um, college's policies. But let's go ahead and end this and come back to Canvas. I think we're done with the syllabus, actually. That was fast. Any questions from the audience? If I don't hear anything, I will move on. That's okay.
Yes, I have a question regarding the exams. How many attempts do we have?
Oh, great question. Okay, Angelette.
Yes.
Okay, Angelette. So attempts for the exam. There's one attempt. There's one attempt.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let me see. I'm trying to think if there's other things that you need to know about. It's all on Canvas, so it's pretty straightforward. And I have the exams built into the modules. You log in just like you would each week, except the only difference is when we have an exam, that's all that there is to do for that week. So there is no additional assignments on top of that. It's like, okay, Monday is I'm going to start studying for my exam, which I could study all the way up until the following Sunday. Now, in addition to that, what you could do, which would be helpful for you, is you can tune into my office hours on, those Wednesdays and ask me questions about, related to, things that you're studying for the exam. And I'll be happy to spend the whole Zoom talking about, and helping you, in that fashion. So use me and take advantage of the resource of having me available on a Wednesday if you can, and help, enforce some of those things you're studying and prepare you to take your exam the upcoming, by the upcoming Sunday. Okay. Anybody else?
I have one question, please.
Okay.
May I know the structure of the exam? I mean, is this on multiple choices or is it in writing, like in the paragraph? The same thing we do with the discussion.
That's a great question. So yeah, thanks, Ty. The discussions will be written out paragraphs. Your exams will be, I would say, at least 75% multiple choice. Well, let me take that back. Not necessarily multiple choice, all multiple choice, but multiple choice, matching questions, other drop down type stuff, non-writing type questions. There may be one or two writing question built into an exam, but the majority of the questions will be non-writing type questions. All right, anybody else?
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi.
Okay. Hi, Sullivan. Is the office hours on Wednesday the only one going forward, or are you still having the Tuesday Zoom as well? Is today the only day for Tuesday?
Yes, great question, Ms. Sullivan. So today is the only. This is really like a special Zoom I'm doing for you guys. So there's two reasons I wanted to do it. A, if people wanted to log in and ask questions like you're doing right now, but B, I'm recording this, and so this is my way of recording the session, recording my thoughts about the syllabus and putting it out there for everybody. Yeah, this is a one-off opportunity, and otherwise the whole course is asynchronous, and Wednesdays are the only live weekly time that I will be out there during office hours.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so yeah, let's move on and take a look at Canvas itself. So here we are. I've broken things down into the modules, like I said. What you'll see here, again, if you're a Chabot student, it may look a little bit different, but it should be, for all intents and purposes, the same thing. Okay. Let's see. You can always come back here to your course information. I will post this particular video in this discussion page here, which you're welcome to come back and ask me specific questions about the syllabus or about the course or other things. Let's back up. Actually, here, let's do this. I'm going to slide through. I'm going to go through this course kind of next. That's the way I like to kind of approach online course. So if we click next, then you basically get to see all of the things that I'm providing to you one step at a time. Here's the syllabus itself, which you can read through and observe. We already talked about that. Here's my office hour. Okay, so when you are wanting to come see me at office hours, you just click on this little button and it will open up it will actually open up Zoom, I think, in a totally different window. So pretty easy. Just click that and you can find me there. I also have the link for the office hour in the syllabus. So that is right on the first page here. Okay. So that's just some simple, like, oh, let me check back and see what I need to do for the course kind of stuff. Now we are looking at the first module. Okay, so I'm always going to put together just a short little introduction page for you guys, telling you about, what we're going to learn for this topic, this section, and give you the reading assignment. So in this case, it's Unit 1. I don't know why the author calls them units, they're chapters, but Unit 1. So that's the first chapter of the book. And then after that, you'll see, oh, there's Unit 2 and 3. Sometimes there's 1 unit assigned, and sometimes there's 2 units assigned. Just being honest with you. Yeah, we have a little bit of information about the course. I already talked about that stuff, synchronous versus asynchronous. But then this is your objectives, what you're supposed to get out of the course, out of this module here. Okay, so you're going to be learning these particular things, and that's your takeaway basically. After you go through the introduction page, this is my key points document. Okay, so this is what I was explaining in the syllabus. Now it's very short. This first unit is extremely short. You'll see on the next couple units as you go through this, there'll be 2-3 pages maybe at most. But yeah, this is my notes for you, and it's what I base my lectures off of. Okay, so I have, if you're watching these, if you're observing it, the key points, like this, I highly recommend you look at these YouTube videos too, because these are separate videos that I have curated and pulled from other resources to help explain. They're 2-3 minutes long, help explain things from a different perspective. Okay. Here is the PowerPoint slides that I was talking about. So yeah, these are really dense, but you do not need to, like I was saying, let's see, let's back up and see if I have an example of the parentheses that I could share with you. I don't know if I do in this first one. I guess I don't. We'll find it in the second. I guess in the second one coming up. Let's see. Oh, okay. So here we are now, my video lecture. So again, click the button. It will open up YouTube for you. Okay, there you go. Okay, and yeah, just so you know, not all of these videos are recorded like right now. So if I look different or the background looks different or whatever it is, just saying that. Okay, the topics are the same thing and the discussion is the same thing. Yeah, moving on. So here is your discussion page, your discussion board for this particular module. Looks like there are already a bunch of responses, so that's cool. Yeah, that's the idea. You come in here, you will write your response based on what I have asked you, and in this case, compare and contrast the difference between physical and cultural geography. I'm taking it easy on you guys to start, okay? Things will pick up as you go through the course. But let's move forward, and then
I have a question.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
For the discussion board, do we have to respond to our classmates, or we just need to answer your questions in that before the due date?
Exactly. Great question, Angelette. So the only requirement of you is to respond to my prompt. And if you want to reply to, your classmates, you're free to do so. But in terms of earning the points, all you need to do is put your independent thoughts first.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions about that? Okay, let's move forward. Let's see. This one is not open, I think, yet. Yeah, so this is not going to open until 8:30 that's next Monday, August 30th. So let's back out to the modules. And the way I try to structure things is, like I was saying, a Monday is when we start, and then a Sunday, not necessarily every Sunday, but a Sunday is when things end. So like, for example, here we started on 8:23, this module called Introducing Physical Geography, and the following module will open on 8:30, okay? Again, this is a Monday. You see your discussion. Your discussion is actually the only thing you have to turn in for this module, and that is due on August 29th. This date should also be stamped into your personal, Canvas calendar of due dates. So that's helpful. Yeah, and basically how this is going to work, each week I'm going to add new modules to the course. And so from your perspective, you'll go at the pace each week, or actually, let me say one thing. For this one, you'll see that I'm going to give you guys 2 weeks to work on this one, because there's two units to review, and Monday the 6th, I think, is Labor Day. So I'm treating it like a quasi holiday. It's obviously an official holiday. Maybe some people go out of town or whatever the case may be. But I'm giving you guys an extra week, because of those reasons. So you'll have 2 weeks to work on that one, and then you'll see the next module show up on Monday what are we talking about? Not the 6th, but Monday the 13th. Okay. So just pay attention to the due dates as they become posted. Most of them are 1 week timelines, but there are a few of them that have 2 week timelines. The exams will start to show up as well, and I will give you guys some prior notice. Hey, preparation, there's an exam due here as well. So not just your discussion, but also there's an exam that you need to work on for that particular module. So in those instances, you will have 2 assignments, your discussion and your exam, to work on when the exams are part of the module. So since there are 4 exams, that means we've got about 3 modules per exam is how it's going to work, which is roughly 5 to 6 chapters per, maybe 4 to 5 chapters per exam. So that's really how things are broken down. It's kind of a quarterly approach. Okay. But that's pretty much it. Is there any other questions about Canvas or just in general the course? I know there's more things that will probably come up through the semester, which it's fine to ask me those questions at that point, but this is another opportunity to do so before we go.
I have a question.
Yes.
Mr. Miller. So when I was reviewing the video of Unit 1, you do also show some key points. And on the YouTube video, it does show that you have bolded numbering, which goes to the slide. But then on the key point document on Canvas, it does not have the bolded points in it.
Oh, you know what? So you called me out on something here. Yeah. You know what? This must have been an older file that got transferred over.
Okay, no problem. It's just, I mean, it wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah,
so I could see it on the video, which I just updated myself because I, download all those documents. But
very good. So, you just pointed out, and that's what I was saying earlier, the bolded parentheses thing means that gosh, I don't know if I have a copy of it. This is a new computer I have, but the bolded parentheses next to like
The key points.
next to the key point, yeah, means okay, that's an indicator for you to go to that slide number in
Right.
those slides, and there's some kind of graphic or map or something that
Right.
should be like a helpful you know, reinforcement of that particular topic. It's also my way of helping you not get too lost in the slides themselves, because there's some of them you're going to see and it's like a lot of slides, and frankly it's a little bit too much in my opinion, but I'm just giving you everything that the author gave to us. And but yeah, so the key points, I think that's your first, like I said, that's really your best ammo for coming at this. And then when you look at those little bold parentheses, you go, oh, bingo, let me go back and look at the slides for that. And here's a map that looks like everything we were just talking about in that key point. And then I'm going back to the key points and keep going through the list. So
No,
thanks for that. I will
very
update
helpful.
this. I will update this so that it actually corresponds.
Okay. No, very helpful. I mean, it's more than, you know, plenty of help on the assignments. So.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. All right. So if there's nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and log off and end this
Thank
session.
you.
I have a question. Is it highly recommended to take the lab with this class now, or could we take the lab next semester?
Well, so I think it's best if you do it at the same time. With that, because you know the stuff will, it's not exactly a one-to-one every single week, to be honest with you, but there is enough parity there where you go, oh, I just learned about maps and coordinates and stuff, and then oh, in this lab we're doing plotting them on an actual map itself. So there is some similarities there. The only thing I will say, and it's not necessarily a promotion of myself, but with the lab course, you could take that with me or with any other teacher that's offering it. And you know, it's just the way kind of things are. Not every teacher offers the exact same. I mean, we have our standards that we all have to meet in terms of what we're teaching in the course, but you might find if you take it with another teacher at a different time that, you know, things don't sync in the same way that they were when you were with me in this lecture. So I guess long story short is, are you from Chabot or DVC, Angelette?
Chabot.
Chabot, okay. So if you can, I would recommend reaching out to me to get an ad code for the lab course that's going right now, because I'm teaching that also, that started up right now.
Okay.
And try to sync up with me on that one and get added into that course, and just kind of knock it out of the way. You know what I mean? And it just makes things easier for you in the long run, I think.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that now. Thank you, appreciate it.
Just send me an email to remind me, and then I'll reply and I'll give you a code.
Okay, I'll send it now.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just me,
So
have one more question, please. Sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Is this my turn?
Sure.
Okay, so one more question about the exam. So on the exam would be the open book or closed book?
Well,
I'm sorry. Because I didn't hear you mention about this one either.
No, I didn't mention it. And here's the thing, you know, I mean, I'm not there, right? So everything I proctor is on Canvas, okay? And I don't do any live. I know that there are instructors that have you log in at a certain time, and they're basically looking at you as you are taking the exam. I don't do that, okay? So I guess my answer to that is it's in your best interest to use as many resources as you can. okay? Because for me, I want to see you, I want to see you, I want to see that you have learned and can learn the concept and can answer the questions, right? And that goes, you know, for the discussion kind of thing as well. So I know I'm trying to give you kind of giving you a long-winded answer. You probably wanted just a yes or a no, but yeah, I mean, if the book is available to you, obviously that's the best resource to come back and check out. The exams are timed, though. That's the thing. So prepare you. It will behoove you to prepare and study well in advance, as opposed to I've had students that think they can just log into the exam and kind of go through the book question by question and try to answer it and then they run out of time, right? So that's not a good approach to it. That's not a good approach to it. The last thing I will say about this is, you know, you guys are working, as I've told you to, I want you to collaborate and engage with each other. You are doing this class independently, right? Solo. So you will be doing all of your exams are not meant to be taken, you know, with multiple people in your, you know, at the same time. So there are examples where I may ask a writing question and answer. And I'm just telling you this from experience. I've seen the same answer come back to me multiple times from 2 or 3 different students. I don't know who the original person was that put this answer together. And it actually probably was a pretty good answer. But the fact that it was copied and pasted amongst multiple students told me that there were more than one working on the exams at the same exact time, probably in the same room or on the same Zoom together or whatever it was. So yeah, that would be highly discouraged. That would be a form of cheating and something that I could recognize instantly. I do read all of these responses, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. So did that help answer that for you?
Yeah, it's helpful.
Okay.
Because, you know, just in case sometimes we forget something.
Yeah.
You have to be well prepared for the exam for sure. I know.
Yes.
But if you have any regulation, I will respect the rules. But I just want to know.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that, and I know that the majority of students come into this with integrity and you know, respect for the process. I'm only talking about a select few. I guess my approach though is actually because of that it's really only a handful of bad apples that, you know, come into this. I'm not gonna change and put in a bunch of, you know, limitations and hardships on how to take the exam, because there might be, you know, 1 or 2 people that want to spoil it for everybody. I can pretty much point those people out even in an online environment, and so I put enough trust in you guys, and frankly, as I said, my purpose is to see that you have learned the material. And so sure, I'm teaching it to you, obviously, the best I can, but you know, this is a great resource. So by all means, take advantage of this at every opportunity possible. And so, yeah, I'm not gonna ever step in and say, oh, you got that answer directly from the book, you know, shame on you. No, that's not the way I approach this or think about this. To me, that's like praise to you for being resourceful and finding the answers and learning the material, you know, in that way.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Miller, the lab that Angela was mentioned earlier,
Okay.
is that a required class?
So the thing is, if you are going to be transferring to a university, especially in California, it is required. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, and as I was saying, you could take it at the same time, or you could take it next semester or 2 semesters later. It's just one of those things where if you go to transfer, the counselor is going to look at your transcript and say, oh, physical science, you took physical geography, but you didn't take the lab, and those have to be taken at the same time. Or I'm sorry, those have to both be taken to qualify for, that checkbox. And the reason being is that at most universities, the courses are taught as one course with over a longer, 5 hours a week kind of thing, combined thing. I'm not really sure why they don't do it at community college. Maybe it's just to give you more flexibility or something, but anyways, long story short,
Okay.
you do need to think about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just started going back to support, so I haven't really looked at all the required.
Yeah, no problem. And you could
Yeah.
email me anytime about specific,
Yeah, I'm going through a
pathways
PACE.
and
I'm going through the PACE program, so they just give me some at least to kind of knock out for the time being. So
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
great. Good luck on that. Okay. Any others? This is great engagement. Thanks so much, everybody from the audience. Okay, I think I'm not seeing, I see a couple things in the chat. Let me just double check that I didn't miss anything. Today's the only day starting. Still a need. Can you keep me posted? Okay, so I've already answered these already. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And that's gonna be the end of this. So, hey, thanks everybody for joining, and I appreciate you being here and engaging with me. And for everybody else that's watching this after the fact, welcome to the course and good luck, and reach out anytime if you need anything. All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank
thank
you.
you.
You have a good
Yeah.
day.